Hey everyone, I'm Brad Nelson.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And you're watching the Versus Series on StarCityGames.com. All right, so we are back on the Versus Series playing a little Modern in preparation for SCG Charlotte.
And we are giving Brad a little bit of a test after his...
Well, I already passed the test.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. Got a little lucky.
So what are you saying is you are a harder, more skilled test? Is that what you're implying?
Hopefully.
All right, yeah. So I ended up taking down SCG Baltimore a week and a half ago with Grixis Death Shadow, a deck that I really didn't have a lot of practice with going into the weekend.
Humble brag.
I mean, I was going to follow that up with, that's one of the reasons why I played so horribly slow. And that was more of the storyline. It wasn't like Brad's playing this deck pretty well, which I don't know if I was or not because I'm unfamiliar. But we definitely know I was not playing it at a pace that I should have been.
I know.
Yeah.
From watching the games and being hungry for the entire top 8.
Oh, my goal is for Charlotte this weekend to, play it at lightning speed the entire time. I'm just gonna.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, if I just play it as fast as humanly possible, I will. If I have a camera match, I will play it at blistering speeds. Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, but we are running back the finals of Baltimore in preparation for Charlotte because these are two of the decks that should be at the top of the tables. They both had really good performances in Baltimore, and it seems like the metagame is going to have to react to specifically these two decks to push them away.
Yeah, completely agree. They performed not only very well in Baltimore, but very well in the 2 Grand Prix that went on that same weekend, the one in Japan, the one in Copenhagen. I believe Grixis Delver won one of those 2 GPs. They both put one of each deck was in both of those top 8s.
Did you hear how hard mode he did in that top 8, though?
I did not hear anything about
He misregistered his deck. So he just played with 4 Flooded Strands instead of Scalding Tarns. So he just not only had to find Flooded Strands, but also wasn't able to fetch for Blood Crypts all weekend with 4 of your fetches, which, is hilarious to me that he just played with a handicap and still won the tournament.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, the deck's just that good. But yeah, so we're running back Dredge versus Grixis Death Shadow, which is a very intricate matchup on its own, but also is 2 decks we're going to see a lot this weekend. So if you're going to Charlotte or you're just watching, the storyline is going to be these 2 decks. You either have to know how to beat them or you'll watch them probably win. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I assume you'll watch some people learn how to beat them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will try to beat them and fail.
Yeah, or join. I mean, I always like the join forces with the deck that's winning because it's powerful, and that's really what Grixis is. I wrote about it last week, and the only thing I really have to say about the deck is it's doing things that other decks do, but it's doing things that a lot of decks do all at the same time. It just has like tempo plays, mid-range plays, everything costs 1 mana and super efficient, and the fail rate's really low because of cards like Serum Visions and Thought Scour. You have so many cantrips. I think the deck's great.
And I think Dredge is great.
Yeah, so we are just having this fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Ross was really happy to play this matchup. He just really wants to win. I think he's emotionally invested in this one, so let's just crush his dreams like I crushed his dreams in Baltimore the other weekend.
How did you? We didn't even play in Baltimore.
Well, you wanted to eat faster.
I did want to eat faster, but I did eventually eat.
And I did pay, so.
Yes, and it was delicious.
All right, so 7-11 game?
Sure. Hey, here for game 1, and in typical Dredge fashion, I've taken a mulligan. Dredges is always a deck that is mulliganed a lot. You need very specific things. This hand does not have everything, but it has ways to find everything we need, so I'm definitely going to keep.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little slow, but it's definitely not a mulligan game 1 without knowing the matchup.
Okay. Keep. Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Exactly what I needed. Faithless Living.
Yeah.
And it's certainly one of these 2. I have to assume that Brad is going to have a discard spell on turn 1. in which case I do think I want to discard this one so I can restock my graveyard. So, Conflagrate Imp.
All right. Not the best top deck. 18, Thoughtseize to 16.
Yeah. You want to take Prized Amalgam?
No, I will take the card that's good.
Prized Amalgam's great.
All right, so you have Mountain.
I'll leave it up.
Mire. Yeah.
It's going to be in my graveyard soon enough. So we'll dredge Imp for draw. Well, now I feel silly for not discarding the Amalgam since I hate Conflagrate and Archimedes, but that's fine. Well,
why didn't you discard Amalgam and just cast the Conflagrate?
Because I can't cast and flash it back, which means I'm not guaranteed another dredge.
Sure.
And so now, so we already have an Imp to dredge next turn, but I have a Faithless Looting also, and I want to get this Amalgam down. So I think I will Conflagrate, and we'll just Conflagrate for 2.
14.
Yeah, bring it to 14. Which might be awkward against Death Shadow. Now I have a Bloodstained Mire.
Okay. All right, so we could fetch first, but with Street Wraith, we already can get that pre-card, but we still are not going to be able to get one of our threats down right away. Still probably best to just fetch right now and go to 11. All right. I'm going to cast a Serum Visions.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah. Draw Scry. Ugh. All right, well, that's got to stay on top. That's got to go on bottom. And I think we just need to put that into play. So we will go to 9 and play Death Shadow.
That's pretty good. So that thing's at 4/4. Let's dredge an Imp. Okay, so we hit the Blood Gas. That'll return these 2 Amalgams.
And that's probably KOs me.
So I could keep dredging here with the looting, or I can just cast Stinkweed Imp to give myself another blocker for this Death Shadow. But the Grixis deck, it's not like they're threatening you with Temur Battle Rage, so I don't think I have to get the Stinkweed Imp down right now. So I do think I want a Faithless Looting. So we'll return Bloodghast. I'll crack this. I'm going to go to 17, get Blood Crypt, so I can cast Imp if need be. My Bloodghast does have haste, but
no really way to do it, though.
Yeah. If I had a second card in my hand, I could attack with because I have a fetch.
Yep.
I guess I could have held the fetch in my hand and just attacked with the Bloodghast.
No, you couldn't get it into play.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's it. Too deep. Yeah, if I had one more card in my hand, I could have attacked with it and then maybe conflagrated down the Shadow if Brad blocked, but... so this is Imp. Let's flashback this Faithless Looting. Dredge an Imp to start.
I feel like this is falling apart on me.
And now I can either dredge Thug or dredge Loam. And next turn I'm likely dredging Loam anyway to set up another Conflagrate. So I think I'd just rather hit as many cards now, because I could hit more Amalgams that can enter on the end step, or Narcomoeba. Okay, or nothing. I will keep an Imp because I'm going to start dredging Loam and then either casting Loam or casting the Imp for my hand. And I think I can, again, because I'm not afraid of a big combo kill, I'd rather just get in damage.
Second 8.
And then end step 2 Amalgams.
All right. Well, we're going to have to play this and hope to get a little lucky. That's not what we needed. That will come in handy next turn, I guess, if we have another turn, but let's figure this out.
What did you do with the Scry?
Top, bottom, but I am just dead. I can play another Death Shadow, but like, I'm not getting out of this.
And there are 5/5s?
Yeah, like, so you can loam up to 4.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
We'll play out the rest of the game. I don't think you're that dead, but you're in awkward shape. Where's the loam? There it is.
I probably actually can't keep that card on top.
Oh, there's another Bloodghast and an Archamoeba. So
That's actually lethal. The Bloodghast is lethal.
so you block here, you take 5. Yeah, that is exactly lethal. So I loam up to 4 cards, play a land, return Bloodghast, then I'll have 3 cards left.
Yep. Man, Dredge is gross.
Yeah, I can fetch for a mountain. And then attack with these. Brad blocks here, goes to 3, and I conflagrate for lethal.
All right. Now I get to be on the play. All right, well, I'm on the play here, and it's a hand very similar to the last. I'll be using these Serum Visions to try to find Thoughtseize, and hopefully, or another way to get this Death Shadow into play on turn 2. But got to keep in mind that cards like Dark Blast and Collective Brutality exist in the matchup, so I remember playing against him and not wanting to put a 2/2 into play.
Yeah. My hand is going to be interesting. This is really showcasing the way Ben built his list relative to how Dredge has been built in the past. I'm a little worried about it being slow on the draw, but you can't mulligan hands with an Enabler, a Dredger, and some lands to do things with. Okay, the deck is too volatile.
I was just starting since it was a fetch. So we'll draw, not the best draw. And not the best here, but I think we're just going to have to try to set those up. So we'll keep 1 on top and then pass the turn to you.
You're at 17?
Yep.
Okay, well, that was a good draw. And I will play this fetch and pass.
Okay. All right, let's go get another Watery Grave.
You're at 14?
Yep.
And I don't know why I'm doing this.
Sorry.
I don't trust you anymore.
Scry. This is not coming together the way we want it to. I think we just want both bottom because the Snapcaster is going to be too slow for us. So we'll both bottom and pass the turn.
Okay, I could crack this fetch on end step and save myself 2 life, but I actually want to see if I draw a black or green source this turn because then I can fetch for the other one and have all my mana. So I'm just going to draw. I don't think the 2 life is a big deal. And we drew Copperline Gorge. God, I'm smart. Crack this. I'm going to go to 17 for a Blood Crypt.
I'm going to walk into my Stubborn Denial, sir.
Yep. I'm going to walk right into it with Collective Brutality. And I can only escalate once because of the thing. So, yeah, I'll drain you for 2 and dress you. And I could have, so. 2x.
The drain is actually gas. It just has to be this, right? This could get stranded. I guess this is cheaper.
It is cheaper, and I think I would rather just take the cheaper card.
Okay.
We're going to be in a bit of a... So I'm at 19, you're at 12?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess the drain is... But I literally have to drain in order to discard a card.
That was perfect.
Just put 13 power on the board.
Yep, your turn.
Mm. And I duressed you to let that happen too.
Yep.
Okay, 2 Dakmor Salvages and a Bloodghast. I guess. So I had this Cathartic Reunion, and I didn't want to get that one Stubborn Denialed.
Ooh, but you can have a huge turn. Keep in mind, if you don't find I mean, I have this, and, well, you know my hand, so I am representing 17 damage.
Yeah. It's okay. My land enters on
Okay,
top.
cool. Shucks.
So I definitely want to rediscard this. I have an interesting decision to make of which two of these three cards to discard. I could just try to dredge salvages after discarding these two and guarantee the most things on the battlefield. I don't think 3 cards is worth an extra creature.
No.
So I actually do think I should just discard the 2 creatures.
And Bloodgust will have haste next turn, so you can like.
It has haste right now.
Well, you could find some way to do it next turn. I have too many blockers.
Yeah.
Getting the Amalgam into play might be relevant, but I don't know if getting Bloodgust into play this turn is that relevant.
Well, if I don't get it in my graveyard now, then I'm just not getting it into play. Unless I guess actually what I could do.
You could
actually, this is good. Right? No, I can't loan, but I can dredge a salvage this turn, play it as my land for turn, and then have 2 black for next turn and hardcast the Bloodgust for my hand.
Yeah.
That actually seems pretty good. So why don't we discard these 2?
Yeah, that's what I liked the most.
And then we'll dredge imp with the first one. Tilt off.
You still have quite a few.
Dredge imp with the second one. Conflagrate is a great hit. That is, as is another Amalgam. I have to finish resolving my spell. Dredge a salvage. This is great.
Come on.
No loam for the Conflagrate, but everything else I could have wanted.
Yeah, that's
so
frustrating.
Play this land, return a Bloodgast, and then.
What'd you discard?
Hmm?
Oh no, it was
Reunion. Yeah. And I can't attack with Bloodgast, so I'll go to my end step and turn those.
All right. This is definitely tilt worthy. Just one extra. That last Narcomoeba drew the fetch. All right, so let's figure this out. I'm at 9. If we have to fight, how many cards in your hand?
I have 5.
Oh my god. Okay. So you have 6 already, 6 damage already. No one damage.
Yeah. Which means you have to leave 1. You have to leave 2 back because you need to block, terminate, and then only take 2.
Man, how is this happening? Yeah, attack for 5.
And I'll go to 14. And now I have to sort of play.
Go.
I have to play pretty conservatively. So it's not like I can go all out here and bring him to 1 and not, because then I die in the crackback. So it might actually be that I have to just dig for a loam and set up a lethal Conflagrate while just holding my things back and maybe playing imps. I think that's the right line for me to take. So let's dredge Thug. Faithless Looting is also interesting. Although I don't really have a lot of dredgers left in my graveyard.
How many cards are in your hand?
6 now.
So, what's 4? I guess if I drew a removal spell, you don't want to just leave yourself dead to a Fatal Push. But if I had Fatal Push, then I won't have the fetch to kill you.
Yeah. And actually, yeah, because
you have lethal unless I top decked you.
No.
Yes, you do.
You block these 2, or block.
You have a Bloodgust in your hand. So you keep 1 land to bring it back, and you deal 5 to me.
No, I have to.
I'm pretty sure that's how your magic cards work. You have a land in hand, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can go for lethal.
I was doing that math. Somehow I was coming up with 4.
Yeah,
but
you can go for lethal.
Yeah, that's true.
But if I drew Fatal Push, then you just die.
Then I just die?
Probably no reason.
That is true.
But you can also just make that play to see if I got Stubborn or not. and then read me to see if I have the removal spell. Which you know I don't because I showed you my card.
Sure. So you've put me in a tough position. So I would have to just 5 you. Thing is,
See if it works.
if I assume you drew, it's probably best for me to actually go for a conflagrate early so you can't draw Stubborn Denial. And then I have another one if I hit a loam. So if I go for it and then you don't Stubborn Denial and then it's just you having to draw Fatal Push.
Yeah, or Bolt.
What is it? Yeah, or what is my alternative line though? Like
or a Snapcaster, I guess.
If you've drawn Fatal, if I assume you've drawn,
I guess I could draw Fatal Push, Snapcaster, or Lightning Bolt, and they're all possibilities too.
If I assume you've drawn one of those, all I can do is attack for 1 and probably kill you next turn.
Yep.
So that actually just seems better though, because that reduces it gives you 2 turns to only draw Stubborn Denial as opposed to 1.
But that leaves you dead to the removal spell as well.
How?
I killed these 2 and these got huge because you conflagrated me. So I just shocked myself down to 2 and I deal you enough damage.
I wouldn't conflagrate.
Oh,
so
okay,
I give you 2 turns to draw Stubborn Denial as opposed to 1 draw to draw Stubborn Denial, Fatal Push, or Snapcaster.
Yeah.
Which is better. So I will attack for 1 and pass the turn.
So you're just passing the turn, not even. You're not even.
I guess actually what I could do is attack for 2 and play a Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah, I like that way more.
Yeah. Okay. So 7, play Imp. And pass the turn.
Yeah, that does leave you 2 removal spells is not lethal either.
Yeah.
By 1 though. So I mean, I can't just sit here. So I am just going to kill a creature. Top deck the perfect card. It's not the worst card. Do I just go for how perfect? No, this would be stupid. I mean, so I go to 4. Well, no, that you might have attacked me for too much actually, because if I go to 4, then this is exactly lethal. I think you can only attack me with 1.
So if you have 2, but you'd have to have 2 removal spells and a fetch.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay,
that
you
seems...
just don't care. Can I get through this without even going for it? I guess, yes, if I draw exactly that. So we don't have to fetch yet. All right, Serum Visions. Huh. All right, so how I'm going to be boarding this matchup is I'm taking the liberty of knowing that Leyline's coming in, and against Ben I took out 1 Angler, but you don't really like too much removal. I still don't mind having a Fatal Push. The 1 Fatal Push did win me the match, and a Lightning Bolt, but for the most part you only want to draw removal sparingly to get some damage through, and you want to be more focused on the counter spells and the actual graveyard disruption.
Yeah.
Plus, these 2 interact with the creatures much better than a Fatal Push, whatever, so.
Yeah, you're just bringing better removal spells.
Yeah.
From my side, Ben's list, in addition to being a little slower in the main, sets up to be very slow and interactive after board. So you see me cut a full set of enablers in Brutality. We're trimming on Dredgers. I've actually trimmed a Bloodghast. Bring in Leyline, which shuts down a lot of what all of the Death Shadow decks do, and then a lot of removal. So once you Leyline them, they're really down to Death Shadow and Snapcaster Mage to try to kill you. And so if you can just answer their threats, you can run them out and just out-card advantage them with your Dredge engine. And if they answer your Bloodghast and your Narcomoebas and things, just kill them with Amalgams and Heartcast Stinkweed Imps. It's sort of an awkward way to get there, but one that is pretty deterministic if you start on a good draw and just kill all of their threats. So we're going to settle in for some long games here after sideboard.
Yeah.
Do a little bit more of that interacting thing that Brad likes.
I do love it. All right, well, I'm here on the play. My hand is a little aggressive on attacking his hand and trying to find some of my hate, but the way that Ross just said okay means that I'm getting ley lined 100% of the time. So I'm keeping.
I have a good hand. We've got things to do and lands to do them with.
Are we at the beginning of the start of the game?
Yes.
I can play my first thing?
Yep.
You're not going to stop me when I start playing things?
Nope.
All right. 18 Thoughtseize. All right, so we will attack that looting.
Yeah. Assume we're taking looting, especially if you have another discard spell to take the EE. Although, I think what I'm going to do is just play for 1 on my turn.
Mountain.
So once the looting gets taken from this hand, my plan is to just low mine 2 anyway.
All right, go for it.
And this EE is going to be put on 1. If I get beat down by Snapcasters and have it in my hand, then so be it. So, EE on 1.
All right. Maybe it was greedy to put that into play over fetching right away, but we'll go to 13.
What kind of thoughts he's mine Archimedes?
I'm going to Serum Visions. Oh, this is getting a little gross, actually, but we're going to keep this on top for sure. And I do think that we have to just get the Thoughtseize out of our hand. So we'll go to maybe, no, we can wait, go.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, did you get a redraw reunion?
Oh, yeah. I'll discard Amalgam and Life for the Loam. Everything's great. Dredge Loam.
Yeah.
Might be getting surgical here.
You won't be.
Dredge Loam again. We're hitting good stuff.
Yeah.
Dredge Loam again. Okay, and then we can trigger an Archimedes and go to my end step and trigger Amalgam.
Yep.
You're up. We got this EE to deal with Death Shadows. We've got a clock here. We've got Loam to set up for a long game.
Oh, that was frustrating.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Yeah, that was frustrating. My hand is so bad.
You're at 11. Tassiger.
And your turn.
No dredgers left here. Oh, wait, we even have Sheltered Thicket to go with this Loam. Has another cool aspect of men's list, so yeah, why don't we just draw for turn and
10.
Yeah, definitely want to get Brad to 10 or less, so Bloodghasts have haste. I could flashback looting here, or I can cast a Loam, and I think casting Loam is better, so we'll go 3 counters, bring back this Bloodghast.
I should have just Thoughtseize. This is stupid.
Loam back, fetch land, Sheltered Thicket, Stomping Ground.
Yeah.
And 7 cards in hand, so you're up.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll go to 8 and surgical your Loams.
That's pretty good. I have a Bloodghast that you didn't know about.
Gross.
I've cut a Loam, so we know there's no more.
All right, and your turn.
I guess I was supposed to wait a turn to do that, so I'd have Sheltered Thicket, but I assume that if I was getting surgical, that it would have happened when I was bringing back creatures. But I guess Brad knew I had a million Loams, wanted to save it.
No, I was on top of my deck.
Sure. So we're back to drawing for our turn.
What?
I just drew a kind of awkward one. I'm gonna save it for now. We'll flash back this Faithless Looting.
Sure.
Okay. Discard Stinkweed and Bloodghast. Play a Bloodstained Mire,
Yep.
return Bloodghast. Don't really want to attack with the Amalgam since I have no way of bringing it back, so I'll just attack with those. 1 Bloodghast down, you go to 5.
Yeah.
And there's no point in me returning the Bloodghast now, so I can just pass the turn.
Trigger.
Activation. Sure. You can have a Stubborn Denial.
That's guard myself.
Yep.
Do I know anything about your hand? Not really.
You know I have
Narcomoeba.
You know I have these 3 cards.
Yep. Inquisition.
You get an Narcomoeba. I drew a ley line, but it would have guaranteed you got Surgical back with Tassiger.
Oh, sure.
It's not looking good for you, Bradley.
It's not looking good at all.
That's not bad.
Go.
Maybe I shouldn't have given you the Stubborn Denial. I thought I was ahead enough to do it,
You're so far ahead.
but now I kind of want to find a Conflagrate, and it has been turned off. But I can just go to the air.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Close.
Not bad at all.
I mean, I can't win. We're done here.
I'm playing Ghost
I
Order.
need an anger.
Bringing you to 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I need anger in my list to be able to beat
Get
that.
back all these. I'm going to have 6 creatures attacking next turn with you 2.
All right, well, game 4, I hopefully can redeem myself with this one because this is better than any hand I even had in the tournament.
Wow. Well, I've taken another mulligan to 6, as Dredge does, and my hand is fine.
I'll be the judge of
Okay.
that.
Well, it's vulnerable to Thoughtseize, so I assume this is the one that's going away.
Oh yeah, that's gone bye-bye.
You're 15. I got 3 lands alone with a Bloodghast.
All right, go.
I guess now I know I'm going to get a Black Source for this, so I can just save myself the life.
All right.
And this getting the fetch also helps alone.
Let's go to 13.
I knew I had another reason in my head, but I was blanking on it.
Go to 13. Let's go to 10.
10. Am I just going to get run over?
I mean, that is the goal. I only did it once in the tournament where I just went. I mean, I'm not even doing it this game, but there's only once in the tournament where I just went turn 2 double Death Shadow, and I did not lose that game. I'm gonna cast the Serum Visions,
Okay.
and we'll keep 1 on top, 1 on bottom. And I will play a Death Shadow and pass the turn.
I'm at 19 from the end step fetch.
10.
And, yeah, I'm on loan back this Foothills.
You have a Foothills in your hand.
Really want to hit the Vengeful Pharaoh here. Did I forget to scry this game? I think I did. I drew a bad one off the top, too.
Oh, wow. I'll go to 10, play another Death Shadow.
You mean go to 8?
I'll go to 8, play another Death Shadow. So I have you on, I can just do all my things next turn. So, yeah, I don't need to get aggressive with this. All right.
I definitely forgot to scry this game.
Yeah, 14. Scry right now, I don't care.
I assume that would.
I got that covered.
Well, these were not these were not good dredges. I will flash back a Faithless Looting,
I'll counter it.
and I'll pass the turn. Am I dead?
Yes. I will shock.
That's enough.
Yes, that is exactly enough.
Well, I keep thinking I'm going to have hands that play these long interactive games, and then I keep drawing game 1 hands, but
Yeah.
I don't think I can mull hands like this, so keep.
Yeah, I'm good with mine as well. All right, well, that means Cathartic Reunion. That's just screaming reunion. So we're just going to start there. Oh, wait, no. We can just say go to a reunion. Yeah, go.
Well, land go means Stubborn Denial, so How about I just... pass the turn.
All right, so I'm pretty sure we just need to do this.
14?
Yep,
2 water graves or get a blood crypt?
2 water graves.
That's what I suspected. You have very little red in your deck after board, right?
Very, very little.
It's like Bolt, K-Return, Staticaster.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty much just a blue-black control deck against anything that you have to be combo.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Maybe I should.
I think this is just a low, not a good keep right now. Now it's just going to play to protect these later in the game. But I'm going to cast Serum Visions. Oh, wow. Wowie. All right, and then a Spell Bomb in your turn.
You get to scry too.
Oh, it was so good, I didn't even... Oh, wow. Whew. I think they both can go bottom, though. I think we have enough of this effect. What else are we trying to draw, though? I guess Snapcaster and more bombs? All right.
End of turn, I'll cycle Shelter Ticket.
All right.
It's not bad. Neither is that.
Oh, there's actually a reason, real quick. There is an argument to keeping this because it allows us to, keeping that because it allows us to turn this on next turn with this. And that might be correct to play around Pulse. I don't know if I want that many lands. We'll just risk it.
I will loan back Shelter Ticket.
Okay.
You can go. We're just going to sit here and play slow.
Okay, so we drew it anyway. So I'm going to go to 11. And we'll get a Blood Crypt. And I think we just jam. I think this turn we just jam. And say go.
Dredge.
Yep. Annoying.
That was a good one. I will loan back the 2 lands.
Yep.
I will play a fetch land.
Yep.
And I have 7 cards in hand. You can go.
Might as well do it on our turn. Untap. Draw. What could be in his hand? I guess we just want to find out, and that'll let us know if we want to take pain anymore. So I'm gonna drop to 9 and take the Pharaoh.
Surgical is good.
So I just want to know what's in up. So your hand is just kind of slow.
Yeah, it's just vulnerable to Spell Bomb. Been trying to... I think on my next turn, I'm going to be forced to commit some resources to my graveyard and make Brett pop the bomb.
Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Are you just dead?
Dead? I'm at 20?
No. I mean, you're close. If I could play 2 lands, you were dead.
Sure.
If I could get to both these... Wait, I can get to both these cards. You might just be dead. You're at 9, and you have no way to interact with me, right? So I don't have to think about that? All right, so I can pop this, draw this, cycle this, fetch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I go to 2. Yeah, all right. So pop bomb on you, draw this card.
You're at 7.
I'm at 7. Draw this card. Fetch down to 4. unless I thought Scour to land. Yeah, do that. Snapcaster, surgical, something in my own library. Go to 2. Attack you for 22.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig.
All right, well, I'm at least happy that I was able to show what Death Shadow can do at the end of that video. It's weird that we didn't have a single leyline game, but that's magic. It happens. But starting off, I felt like you kind of scummed me game 3. It's an acceptable scum. It's acceptable. I like that. You're just going to take this Dark Amoeba? I'm like, no, I'm not going to take this Dark Amoeba. Yeah.
Set him up. Knock him down.
Yeah, but in those last 2 games, you just saw that the deck can just do some really disgusting things.
Yeah, got really aggressive.
I didn't even do anything on turn 1, and I turn 4 killed you.
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to gear up for a long game, and you're just like, nah, we're not playing that game today.
Yeah, you're just dead. And I had the Stubborn Denial, so that your hand, I thought maybe, I was ready for the cackles. I was ready for you to put your 4th land into play and just go EE for 1. Like, counter, you're like, pulse?
No, I didn't draw a lot of the removal. I just drew normal good dredge hands, and I don't think you can mulligan those. It's possible I should have played game 5 more aggressively and made you pop the bomb earlier, but when I find the loam and then I dredge the loam into Pharaoh, which presumably deals with some of your board, I felt reasonably safe. After the surgical, of course, the next turn I was going to go for things because I have 2 enablers, so I can use 1 to make you pop the bomb, then recover with the 2nd and go from there. But I didn't get that turn. Somehow that turn went away from me.
And that was a lesson in subconscious because I'm doing a video. I know, like, I'm looking at his hand. I'm taking in all this information, and then I see visions. I see these 2 cards. I'm like, they're both good, and I'll be able to surgical something later on the road. But there was just something in the back of the head that was saying dead, and that's why I said, "Are you dead?" I didn't see it. It took me a minute to find the line, but there's something in there that was just like, he's dead. Like, look for the line, and that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely impressed by how you needed very minimal disruption there and just kill on turn 4. Death Shadow being so powerful.
Yes.
And that aspect of the deck you definitely saw.
Well, it's so gross where it's very much like Ravager or Aristocrat style decks where, when you hit that sweet spot, wherever it's at, if it's at the beginning of the game or really late in the game, you can just invest all of your resources into lethal. And of course you couldn't play a game. If the game had to continue at me at 2 life, I'm probably not going to win it, right?
Yeah.
In different situations. But because there's always that ability to just go all in on a resource and kill them, it's a very scary mechanic.
Yeah, definitely. And it just so fits so naturally with so many cards that are just fine on their own. I mean, we've seen Fetch Shock is just the bread and butter of modern mana bases. Street Wraith, just a perfectly fine card.
My favorite thing about Street Wraith is it also breaks that mulligan rule. It's like when you're on 6 and you have a Street Wraith and a fetch land, everyone's just like, it doesn't matter. But to this deck, it's like, oh, it does.
So you
I can get to that card. Yeah, you get to that card, and
that is actually awesome.
Oh, it is. It's huge. It is sometimes just one of the best things. It's like you still get that 7-card hand.
Yeah, you still get the value out of the scry.
Yeah.
And then do whatever you do on turn 1, discard spell usually. Fortunately, I was able to take it down with Dredge. I thought that I had a feeling that was how it was going to play out. I would win the 2 post-board games or pre-board games and get one of the post-board games.
Yeah, with the configuration that I played, now you can ask Ross, on the drive up to Baltimore, I did not respect Dredge. I didn't think I thought it was an outdated deck. I thought he was just playing it because it was something he played before. And I wasn't really that in tune with current Modern. But this was the weekend where Dredge kind of had a comeback at all 3 tournaments.
Oh, definitely. We saw a little bit of it right after the banning at the GP it was somewhere in Asia or Australia where it did well. I think it was in Southeast Asia. There were 2 of them in that top 8.
The Mint players all played it.
And they sort of, and all the lists that have been modeled after theirs with the 4 loams, the heavy emphasis on Conflagrate. But we just didn't see a lot of Modern get played. We had a standard heavy winter.
And this whole SCG tour, this whole season is practically Modern with a few breaks.
So now we're really going to see if Dredge can last. I don't think people, I think like you, I don't think a lot of the field last weekend respected Dredge.
Oh, no. For this weekend in Charlotte, I will for sure be having some angers. I might not even play Surgical and just play 3 spell bombs. I feel like it's better, but a mix is also still good.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. But
historically, the mix has been correct against Dredge.
But then instead of playing Kolaghan or K-Return, Like I liked Kozilek's return in theory, against the collected counters decks, but it's just not even worth it. I'm just going to play Anger of the God.
Yeah.
And that's just much better in this matchup.
And even though maybe in this specific tournament, against the lack of hate, Ben's list was probably worse on day one than the list I played. But his list was definitely better for day 2 and in the top 8 when he was well prepared against people who had brought Graveyard Hate. He plays this slow game, even though you didn't really see it play out in these games. That's just the way they happen. I watched a lot of his games in the top 8 and even before then, and Ben was playing really slow Magic and grindy attrition Magic.
Not slower Magic than me.
True that nobody and. That's why he got the trophy.
It is.
You outslowed him.
I did.
But his top 8 match took forever in the same matchup, and he just ground people into dust.
Yeah.
Play some removal spells, dredge just a little bit, gained a bunch of value with Loam, and eventually just start hardcasting Stinkweed Imps. I thought that game plan was going to get a lot worse because you used to just hardcast Golgari Grave Troll, which was a 10/10. And that would be really good, especially against things like Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah.
But, Stinkweed Imp is still a thing. Attacks for 1, it blocks creatures.
Yeah, it sucks to play against. Like, I am definitely going to have Angers next time I play this because that just can win me the games. Like, I at this last tournament, I felt like I was missing something I needed for the matchup, and that's Anger.
Anger is definitely a good tool. Maybe it's time for me to get some Gargadons back in my sideboard. Better keep in your Terminates.
Okay. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Join us later this week with some more Versus videos on the Versus series. And you can see some more Modern action on the SCG Tour this weekend when the stop is in Charlotte. Craig Krempels and Cedric Phillips are coming back again for some more Modern action. I'm going for my back-to-back-to-back. I'm really looking forward to winning that. And then when people actually say back-to-back, I'm going to say back-to-back-to-back.
Sure, you're going to... I don't know how much it counts when it's over a 6-month span.
But it was still a back-to-back.
Sure.
I mean, I did win both the last 2 individual opens I participated in.
Yes. Yeah, this is like one of those stats they bring up on a basketball broadcast. Like, they won their last 6 conference games with 3 days rest when this person didn't play.
I mean, or you can just compare me to the 05-06 Bulls. That's fine, because one was in 16, one was 17.
Sure.
Yeah, my utter dominance over 2 seasons on the Open Series.
Yes. Well, we will make all of those comparisons
this weekend.
Yes.
In Charlotte. I hope you come out and play, but if not, join us on twitch.tv/SCG Tour. And that's all I got.
That's
man.
all we got.
My pitch.
Dredge great, Grixis great.
These are the 2
best decks.
They really are.
I assume things will change over time, but right now,
you got to attack these 2
best
decks if you're trying to fight the 4.
Learn how to play against them. They're great.
See you guys.